your experience with the Rays and seeing, Jake on that team, and also we're doing a big story on Chris Archer.
Right.
With how the leadership roles basically have jumped down from Shields to even Garza and then Price and Odorizzi and now Archer, what kind of a leader is he with that pitching staff over there?
Well, it's hard for me to say that because I haven't been there for a few years, but I know, they take a lot of pride in their pitching and developing of pitching, and it's not just, although Arch wasn't fully developed there, he spent time in the minor leagues there, and I think you hit it on the head. Price and Shields started it. Shields actually started it and kind of hand it down, and they kind of look at things, a little bit differently, and they try to hold themselves to, an extremely high standard over there in terms of pitching.
Being a bench coach and every game you have to figure out a different game plan with who you're facing, but on Sunday we don't know who's starting, and is with how they've been handling starting relievers, has that kind of been a different game plan than usual with you Molly and the rest of you guys?
Well, I think we're going to build it. Number one, it's the last day of the break, so if we want to give somebody a break, or if we were normally giving somebody a day off, we really wouldn't, because of the fact we're getting 4 days off the next day, and our lineup's pretty much set. We're left-handed dominant. We're going to play our left-handers. Joe and Rosie are going to play. Kep's going to be in there, so we really can't worry about that. I think it becomes more of a game plan issue for James, just because of the fact he has to game plan for different guys, and our guys having to adjust through the game. But it's one of those things where you kind of just roll with.
It's been decently successful how they have Sergio Romo starting an inning or two, and then the rest they have guys throwing 3 innings here and there. But what is your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, the one thing about their front office and Kevin is they're extremely innovative, and because of their market and because of the fact that they have optionable pitchers and the fact that they're able to do it, and they have been successful with it, since they do it. I have started it. I think they have the best ERA in baseball, but you have to get player buy-in, and I think a big part of that is Kevin and his staff and getting the players to buy into it. And then when you have some success with it, I think you can kind of go with it.
So if you have one guy in that pen that says, I don't want to start, I know my role is 8th inning guy, you think that will kind of screw with everything else?
Yeah, I think it does, but I think they're veteran guys. Like you mentioned, Romo sounds like he's done a good job, again, not being over there, but the fact that they've embraced it. And then when you have a little success with things, people are not really going to buck the system, and the fact that they've played so well and done so well with it, and they have so many versatile pitchers, it's kind of a thing that you're going to be the odd guy out if you say something.
Last question. Do you see other teams, I don't know about you guys, but do you see other teams around the league buying into that? Because just from seeing the success of what the Rays have done this year?
Well, I think so. I think anything you see with teams that have had success, and the Rays have had a ton of success with what they're doing pitching-wise, whether it's, a few years ago the third time through and not letting their starter go the third time through or something like this. And I think we've seen probably 4 or 5 teams emulate it. So there's a lot of things that have to happen. You have to have optional pitchers. You have to have guys that can throw multi-innings. So you would have to build a bullpen like that. But I think there's going to be other teams that try it. I don't know to the extent of only having 2 starters at times, but I think you're going to see teams try it.